Hello and welcome back to this channel. If you are a new subscriber, it's good to have you, and if you are a returning subscriber, it's always a pleasure. This entire week I was just pondering on children and how I can do better, how I can raise my children better, and something hit me. Am I very intentional on the things that I teach my children? Many times as parents, we have certain things that we want our children to be in future, or we want them to behave in a certain way. We want them to turn out to be extremely perfect. But the whole journey of getting them to that perfection, or getting them to have those values of respect, love, and all those beautiful things, we don't want to actually get into it. We try a bit and get off track. We try, fall, rise up, make resolutions, and okay, right now let the teachers do it. For me, I give up, I'm busy, I can't get this. I want to make something a bit clear. I want to draw attention to something. Let me read a bit of a scripture. The background of this is Daniel and some other guys have been kidnapped, or they have been taken as slaves to another kingdom called the kingdom of Babylon by a great king called Nebuchadnezzar. And this is what he says about the Daniels. The Daniels were a young group of men, young and vibrant. And this is what he says: young men who are healthy and handsome, intelligent and well educated, good prospects of leadership positions in the government, perfect specimens. That's the kind of stuff that he wants to see in the young men that he wants to serve him. So he's telling his workers, his officials, get me young men who are of that kind. And as I mention these things, I want you to think, are your children in that category? Are your children healthy and handsome? Handsome doesn't necessarily mean physical looks, but how are you grooming your children? Do they comb their hair? Do they wear the right clothes? Are they smart? Generally, personal hygiene, is it on the high end? Or because if someone is lousy, then whatever good looks they have, they don't really come out. He says intelligent. Is your child intelligent? Are you creating an environment that is bringing out that intelligence? Or every time they want to try out something new, they want to dare, you're like, stop it, no, don't do that, don't touch this, don't. You know, when the don'ts are too many, you are limiting the child, and definitely that intelligence does not thrive. They just become a yes person their entire life, and they don't get to achieve those things that they've always wanted. Let's continue. He says well educated. We are taking our children to school and they're getting that education, but are you also educating them on the different things in life, about history, about the history of your nation, about science, about cooking? Do they know how to wash? Do they have general knowledge of certain things? Are you creating an environment where your children are learning? There's so many things to do in order to teach your children. The TV that you have at home, is it only for cartoons, or they can watch a bit of science and fiction, or adventure, wildlife? All these are opportunities to teach your children. If you're going for a vacation, could you take them to the zoo or some place where they can get to learn so many things? Every time you're spending with your children is a learning moment. Make sure that your child is well educated. They are highly informed on different things in life, and it's up to you, because they can't get all this from school. We continue. He says good prospects for leadership positions in government and perfect specimens. So you notice the king wanted a perfect kind, a good kind of breed of the Daniels. And this is what the world wants of our children. The world expects in job positions, they want a good breed, a good kind, the one that is educated, the one that is eloquent, the one that can think beyond what has been told, can be much more innovative. That is what the world wants. That's the kind of person that is going to thrive in this society. And it's up to you as a parent to work that out. And guess what? This is what he says. Indoctrinate them in the Babylonian language and law of magic and fortune telling. I'm using the Message version. The king says the children, the Daniels, should be indoctrinated. These guys were young. Indoctrinating. This is what indoctrinating means. I mean, indoctrinate. It means teach a person or group of people to accept a set of beliefs uncritically. That is practically brainwashing. Our children are brainwashed every day when they watch TV, when they go to school, when they hang out with their friends. There's certain things there's certain beliefs, there's certain perceptions that are being instilled in them. And as a parent, you have the upper hand. You can control to some extent, and at a certain age, what your child is actually learning. You have the power to change the channel. You have the power to dictate what is supposed to be watched in the home. But it doesn't only stop at dictating. Explain to them. As you're telling them, this is not the best program for you. Give them an alternative that is nice and make it fun. Give them other options that they can learn from. Buy books that talk about values, that have stories, different things that your children can actually learn from, so that their perception towards life is the right one. Their perception towards girls and boys is the right one. Their perception towards marriage is the right one. Otherwise, they're going to learn what Hollywood thinks of movies is what Hollywood thinks of marriage is what they will get. What Disney Junior thinks of life is what they're actually going to carry, because it's basically the TV that is educating them and not you. Now, there's a word that caught my attention. That is law. He says, and the law of magic and fortune telling. Now, law in the dictionary means a body of traditions and knowledge on a subject or held by a particular group, typically passed on from person to person by word of mouth. That is culture. He is instructing his officials to teach these children the law of magic and fortune telling. He is actually telling these guys, can you teach them about magic? Can you teach them about fortune telling? Can you instill that culture? Can you make them magicians and fortune tellers? Wow. Can you imagine your child being taught certain things that you don't agree with, just because as a parent you really don't care what your child is studying, you don't care what kind of beliefs the school has, how they do their things. All you care about is, that's a good school, I think it's nice, I think that church is good, I think that home is nice. Have you tried to make friends with the neighbor, that friend that the mom or the dad of your the mom or the dad of your children's friends, that place, that home they go sleep over at all the time? Do you have an idea of what takes place, what they believe in, how they treat their children? What do your children watch? Yes, I know there's a popular cartoon, there's a popular children's show, but what exactly is it about? Because at the end of the day, your child is being put in a space where a certain culture is becoming normal. Disrespecting parents is normal. Same-sex marriage is normal. What else? That so many things. A certain kind of dress code that is inappropriate to you is normal, because that is what they see. That's what they're being exposed to. And as a parent, you're always busy, off in the early in the morning before the sun rises, and late in the evening when the moon is out or the moon is not there at all. That is when they see you, and you don't even have time over the weekends to have those amazing conversations. What struck me were two things. One was indoctrination, and the other one is law. Your children, our children, are being indoctrinated into things behind our backs. Our children are being taught a certain culture that is strange to us, that is unacceptable to us, right in front of our eyes. I need you as a parent to actually see and look. I want you to hear and understand. Pay more attention. Give your children your time and teach them these values. The world is busy teaching them other things. Get time, schedule yourself and say every day, at least 30 minutes, I'm going to teach my children something. I'll play a game with them and bring up a topic and give them my opinion. So at the end of the day, these kids are going to be like, yes, that's the opinion of Disney Junior, but my mom or my dad says this is it. If you're a Christian parent, your children will not automatically become Christian. You have to do the work. You have to do the work of teaching them the word. The Sunday school teacher may not be doing everything. The church you take them to may not be doing everything. What are you doing as a parent? That is what I want you to ponder on. Well, that's what I had for you today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification for more uplifting content. See you in the next video.